Have you ever wondered how our personal experiences shape the worlds we create in our minds, especially when they turn dark and dystopian? Dystopian literature, a genre painted with shades of societal decay and despair, often mirrors the personal experiences of its authors. George Orwell and Aldous Huxley, two titans of this genre, created starkly different yet equally haunting visions of dystopia, deeply influenced by their individual life journeys. Now, let's delve into the lives of these two literary giants and see how their experiences influenced their dystopian visions. Born into the British colonial machine, Orwell's life was marked by a direct confrontation with injustice and totalitarianism. His formative years were spent as a police officer in Burma, where he witnessed firsthand the brutalities of imperialism. This harsh reality was further cemented by his experiences during the Spanish Civil War, where he saw the terrifying face of totalitarianism. These experiences deeply influenced his work, leading him to craft the gritty dystopia seen in 1984 and Animal Farm. Here, we see a world where truth is manipulated and oppression is commonplace. Orwell's fear was not of a future where we would be unable to discern the truth, but rather one where we would be forced to accept falsehoods. His straightforward journalistic style paints a stark world of oppression. Orwell's stark world of oppression reflected his own experiences, showing us a dystopia shaped by the grim realities of his life. Huxley, on the other hand, came from a sheltered academic upbringing, and his dystopian vision was decidedly different from Orwell's. Born into a family of intellectuals, Huxley was immersed in an environment that celebrated knowledge and analytical thinking. His connections to the Bloomsbury Group, a collective of influential writers, intellectuals, and artists, further shaped his worldview. This intellectual milieu translated into his work, Brave New World, where Huxley employed a sophisticated analytical approach to dissect societal norms and human nature. His dystopia was not one of overt oppression, but of control through pleasure and conditioning. In Huxley's world, people were not forced to accept a singular, dictated reality, but rather, they were conditioned to embrace a life of hedonistic excess, neglecting the pursuit of truth and intellectual freedom. Huxley's dystopia, unlike Orwell's, was a world manipulated through pleasure and neglect of truth, reflecting his own experiences and concerns. In our exploration of dystopian literature, we saw how George Orwell and Aldous Huxley, two titanic figures in the genre, presented their unique visions of a dystopian future. Shaped by his encounters with totalitarian regimes, Orwell illustrated his dystopia as a zone of harsh oppression. Contrarily, Huxley, inspired by his scholarly milieu, envisioned a world where control is discreetly maintained through pleasure and conditioning. Their distinct perspectives underscore the idea that the depiction of dystopia, much like any literary concept, is profoundly shaped by an author's personal experiences and life history. To summarize, Orwell's dystopia is a landscape of blatant oppression, while Huxley's is a world of subtle control. The difference in their dystopias is a reflection of their unique life experiences. This brings us to an intriguing question for you to ponder. How does your life experience influence your interpretation of dystopia? Could your personal encounters shape your vision of a dystopian future?